often said, a job well begun is a job half done. This adage especially holds true while broaching one's succession as well as estate plan. It is often the initial inertia which prevents an individual as well as a family from creating a holistic succession plan. I truly believe a holistic succession plan provides the much needed certainty as well as mental peace for any family member, as well as continuity of the business by way of leadership succession. There are 7 important points to note when you broach this particular topic. 1. Organize important information. As a first step, do ensure that you have a list of all your assets, of all your liabilities in India as well as outside. Prepare a file which provides all the documentation vis-a-vis these particular assets, which are more or less reflected in your balance sheet. This is a very important and a useful tool, especially for family members who may not really be as involved in the family wealth or, for that matter, in the business assets. The next important point to note is to identify your goals. Creating well-defined objectives before you really begin this particular exercise is important. It could be a plain vanilla creation of a wealth succession for the business as well as for the family wealth. It could be asset protection, be it business asset protection vis-a-vis a personal guarantee provided by an individual family member with respect to the business loans. It could be matrimonial protection, especially in situations where there is disharmony in a marriage and you need to protect the assets of the family. Or it could be inheritance tax anywhere around the world. Identifying your goals clearly helps in creating a smooth succession plan. The next important point to note is to establish clear communication channels. Transparency and being open about the wealth and what your thoughts really are about succession is important to provide clarity, certainty to the family members, as well as it gives you an opportunity to understand their needs, to understand what really worries them, and to that extent to address those issues before formally formulating the succession plan. The next important point to note is that use this particular exercise to build family values. When you do have an open communication with family members, it does provide an opportunity to create and pass on family traditions, customs, values, which really created the wealth as well as created the business and really made the next generation actually believe in the family in itself. The next important point is to really provide a list of all the trusted advisors who would be instrumental in implementing the family succession plan. It could be executors to a will, trustees to a trust, guardians to minor children, or for a particular family member having special needs. It could be a chartered accountant who has regular access to the assets and liabilities vis-a-vis filing of tax returns. It could be the lawyers who are going to be helping you in implementing a succession plan. The next important point to note, without fail, is to implement the succession plan. Implementation of the succession plan could take various forms and shapes. It could either be by a plain vanilla trust, a will, it could be with respect to family charters, family settlements, and so on and so forth. Very often, families consider 1, 2, or a number of these tools to create these particular structures. Important to consider while you're implementing this particular succession plan, the legal and tax implications around the assets as well as around family members depending on where they are a resident. Last but not the least, regularly review and update the succession plan as well as the structure really undertaken. This could be defined by way of milestone events, the birth of a family member, the marriage of a family member, the death, creation of loans in companies, providing personal guarantees, and so on and so forth. The review of the succession plan gives you an opportunity to change your plans or to change your thoughts if at all the need really arises. Do ensure that your succession plan has the required flexibility so as to enable any change if it is really required. To conclude, succession planning is like a personal time capsule. It helps preserve your traditions, your cultures, and your values and passing it on to generations to come.